Live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Thanks for joining the Luke and Susie Discourse. We've had some dodgy sound the last few weeks, but I think we might have it sorted, hopefully, for today, where it's been jumping sound settings while we've been in the middle of things. Suze, we are going to unpack a little bit of waiting for something to be released with anticipation, trying things at least once in your lifetime, those things that need to be experienced by people. We've got unattainable goals with a question from Tom. Karen's asked a question. We've got snoring on the agenda and the strangeness of producer Sammy. All of that and a whole lot more still to come.
Sounds like a lot.
Let's make sure if you are watching that you can comment in the chat and it comes through to us while we're doing the show, and we would love to have you involved in this as we get into our Luke and Susie Discourse. The Luke and Susie quotable in just moments, and it's talking about insanity.
It's Luke and Susie with Faith, Family, Culture. Luke and Susie with you. We're broadcasting from Greece.
What's the wise words of someone from yesteryear? Add your chat to the comments to be a part of this as we get into our first topic for our Luke and Susie Discourse conversation.
If you missed something from the show or simply want to hear the full extended interviews and conversations, you can find it all at lukeandsusie.com. With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse. I said it,
don't stop.
talking to me.
Suze,
Yes.
a question has come through the show.
Yes, this is about that anticipation that we have when something incredible is happening, being released, our favourite band, our favourite show, whatever it might be, a movie. Have you ever waited up until midnight?
Or late, let's
Or
just
late.
say general, whatever time it is for you.
For a release of something?
Yes, all the time. It's it's not just a once every now and then. I probably do it multiple times per week.
Really?
To specifically midnight. And I know this is going to, it's ridiculous.
What's releasing?
Okay. So on this game I play,
Oh,
it has free items that get renewed every day. And they get renewed at midnight. And so if I'm like at 11:40 and about to go to bed, I'm like, I just stay up 20 minutes and then collect the new free thing for the day. And I do it regularly. Other times I've gone, I'm going to bed, I'm not going to do it. And then I lie in bed sort of trying to go to sleep. And then 11:59, I can't take it anymore. I pick up my phone.
I don't think that's what was in mind for the question.
I don't think so either, but that's my answer. Don't make it me feel like my answer's not good enough. Have you ever stayed up late for a release of something?
I have been very excited about the release of things in the past, but I'm not a fan of staying up late. The things that I generally get excited about is if a specific artist has come to town. I remember with friends sitting there when you two were coming, and we had three of us in different places on different internet connections ready to go as soon as ticket sales opened. And the three of us, and we were on the phone to each other. Whoever got through first grabs the seats. That was the deal. It was the same when you and I decided to go to see Hamilton as well. But you have been to the first midnight screening of Star Wars with our son.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Not because you were excited about it, but because he was.
No, he bought it for me for a gift.
Yeah, for your birthday.
For my birthday. And I went, is this about me or is this about kind of you and staying up late? And he
More
goes,
about
yes.
him. More about him. But
yeah. I recently had there was a release. It wasn't even the release of some software upgrades. It was the announcement of the release of software upgrades. It was 2 a.m. And I slept in the spare room, so I didn't wake you up, and set my alarm to get up at 2 a.m. Anyway, I slept through my alarm. But both of us had a really good night's sleep.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
So maybe I'm not good at this.
All right. Well, how about you? Have you ever waited up until midnight or been ready for the very first initial release of something? And what was it in your world that had you super excited? How you going, Ken?
I'm good. How you guys going? Good to see you.
Yeah,
good. Good to see you too. Tell us, have you been that excited about something that you've been sitting waiting for the moment of release?
Well, I'll go with Luke on this one. I have a Need for Speed app on my phone, and 12 o'clock midnight, the free things come through, and I collect it so I can make my car a lot better, so I can race more races. But my job, I'm pretty much always up at midnight, pretty much, because as a piano player, musician. So you just said to me, have you ever been up at 9 o'clock in the morning waiting for something to release?
Different answer.
Once with a video game in the past, so
Yeah, I love it. I love it. See,
so
I'm
good.
not weird because Ken's with me. Producer Sammy, have you ever done the stay up for a release?
Not for a release that I can remember. I've definitely done it for like New Year's. I believe I tried to catch Santa Claus. But no, I do remember we tried, I think it was the night before a friend's birthday. It wasn't a release, but we wanted to be awake for the midnight of her birthday.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can be the first to wish her happy birthday. So I've done that stuff.
I need to revisit something here, Sam. Did you refer to New Year's as I stayed up till midnight? But you didn't even say I stayed up. You said I tried. Do you sometimes not make it, Sammy?
No. But it has become a tradition that my partner and I will share the midnight kiss. So I have gone to sleep and then woken up again.
Right.
That's a smart way. Good,
Very
good.
nice. All right, let's go and explore whether or not you've ever stayed up late for one of these late night releases. Caroline, what about you?
When I was a kid, so like 15, when New Kids on the Block came to Melbourne, I did stay in the city with my friend, and we got up super early because they were going into Melbourne, and we didn't get to see them, but we did run into the hotel and touch all the doorknobs so we could say we touched the same doorknob.
You don't know which rooms they were in, you just touched all of them?
Everyone in the hotel.
That's fantastic.
We just went up the elevator and did all the...
Yeah. And
that's commitment.
And
yeah,
thus
I was 15.
Thus was the start of a pandemic outbreak of some kind of disease. Can you imagine?
Like 30 years later, it kicked in.
Yeah.
Can you imagine these days someone actually saying, just last week I got so excited I touched every doorknob in a hotel.
You
People would be like,
yuck, no.
Okay, so Caroline, if right now the same moment happened, your kids on the block were going to be in a hotel, would you, in a COVID environment, still do the same thing for them?
I would still go into Melbourne and try and see them, but I wouldn't go touch all the doorknobs. I'd have my mask and my gloves on.
Would it count if you did it with gloves? Yeah.
Well, then I could just keep the glove and say the glove touched the door.
The glove. Oh, right.
Okay.
And put it in
frame the glove
in a contained plastic lab container. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Quarantine it in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when that DNA cloning starts, you are ready to go.
There you go. I don't even have to just have the sheets. I don't even have to have the sheets like JoJo. I can have the people.
Yes, that's right.
That's it. It's just funny though, in the early stages of the redeveloping from the DNA, then Donnie Wahlberg would probably come out a little bit deformed. And would you be okay with a deformed Donnie?
Oh, he's so adorable. I swear, even a little bit deformed, he'd still be adorable.
Probably.
Of course, we take any attempt to play God seriously, Suze. We're not advocating for it at all.
No.
But thus is Caroline's fandom of New Kids on the Block. We want to explore it.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse. I said it, don't stop talking to me.
All right, B has asked a very good question, Suze. What do you think people should experience at least once in their lifetime? What a great question. And I've got an answer that might sound silly and ridiculous, but I'm serious about this. Skittles fruit salad. Let me explain. That a lot of people I know would take, sort of the green Skittles and eat them, and green, and they're separate by colours. I have a thing where I take a handful of all the colours, put them all in my mouth at the same time. Don't chew, just suck. Suck them all at the same time so you get this fruit salad punch kind of mixed flavour. And then after a little bit of sucking, then they change texture and they become this beautiful, chewy, combined thing. And I think it was a great experience. And I had a friend who went, that sounds like the most horrible thing ever. And then I made him try it, and then he went, oh, that's amazing. And I just think everyone should try it at least once. And maybe only once, but this little joys that exist that we overlook. Suze, you're judging me, aren't you?
No, it's your valid answer to the question.
What do you think people should experience at least once in their life?
I was going to say a different culture. Not everybody gets to travel to experience firsthand the full culture and immerse yourself into a different culture. But I do think there's value in finding a way to experience it. And we live in a country that's so diverse that we have often at our doorstep communities of different cultures where you can go and just experience what life is like through the eyes of someone with a different world perspective. And I think that's what I would encourage people to do at least once in their life.
And our answers are not mutually exclusive. So you could visit another culture with Skittles.
Yeah.
And you could do both at the same time.
Yeah.
See, there's always options here. Phil, what do you think that people should experience at least once in their lifetime?
Not Skittles.
I hear that
Been
disapproval.
there, done that.
I hear that disapproval. All right. What do you think it should be?
I think a bit like with Susie, but going on a cruise liner and going around the islands like over at Suva and Fiji and New Zealand just to have a look what's over there.
Yeah.
Well, if you insist.
Yeah. And I endorse this. I endorse this because even if you don't like it, the experience of somebody else cooking, cleaning, and doing everything for you is an experience you should try and see whether or not you actually think cruise ships are good, because I became a fan, Suze.
Pampering, that's something everyone should experience in their life.
Yeah. Well, I used to have that. I used to have that experience when I was a kid, but I grew up.
Right. Yeah, grow up, Susie. I think that's what Phil was saying. Hey, Kaz, what about you? What's an experience you think everyone should experience at least once in their life?
I think we should all have an experience of passing things forward, doing something really special for somebody that wouldn't expect it. I've done it and I loved it. It was the most amazing gift to me and to the person involved, and it was just amazing just to be able to do something that somebody else couldn't afford to do for themselves.
Can I ask what you did?
I sent my friend and her partner to Hobart for a few days, accommodation, paid for their meals and everything, just as a thank you, because she'd done a lot of help and support for me.
Oh, wow.
So I sent her and a partner away for a few days.
That's a big thing. That's amazing.
Really, really
beautiful.
good.
I love
if
that.
everybody just did something like that for somebody, then wouldn't the world be so much better?
So true.
No question.
Yeah.
Daniel, what about you? What's something you think that everyone should experience at least once in their lifetime? Have we lost Daniel, perhaps?
I think he seems a bit
It would
frozen
appear
there.
that we don't have him. So, Ken, what's something you think that people should experience at least once in their lifetime?
Oh, all the stuff you haven't done yet. Some people call it a bucket list. Any experiences you haven't had yet. And I think we're here to have as many experiences as we can. You know, so whether it be certain chocolates, if you want to go down the food route, that would be British confectionery, Galaxy chocolates all the way. Terrible for the figure, tastes delicious. Another food route here is can of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, Nestle. Boil it for 4 hours, and then you have the best delicious caramel you've ever had in your life. Absolutely amazing. But be very careful, make sure it gets cooled down first, and it just it's wow. But besides that, like the cruise ships, a live concert, live musicians, taking in cultures around the world, like you said, Susie, really mixing it up with this. Everything you haven't experienced, fill as many as you can.
What's something on your personal bucket list, Ken?
My bucket list at the moment, to go overseas, Europe, Peru, look at some of the ancient findings they're now getting at the moment, like digging out the ground and like ancient civilizations and things like that. Absolutely fascinates me. So
yes.
And a cruise ship. I'm very overdue to have a cruise as well. So
yeah,
nice.
I love it. Send through your thoughts on the message 0417 455 37. That's 0417 455 37.
Debbie sent through her suggestion of riding a zip line.
Yeah, riding a zip line, and somebody else is saying that's
thrilling.
Producer Semi, wait, have you got riding a zip line as yours? One of yours too?
Yep, absolutely. But we call it a foofy slide.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. You call it a what?
A foofy slide.
A foofy slide.
Yep.
Can you explain that to us at all?
No idea. It's just what it's called.
A foofy. How would you spell a foofy slide?
I've never had to, so I don't know.
I'm trying to Google. Is this a thing?
I don't think it's a thing.
No, it is a thing.
It's a thing?
If you Google floofy side, it comes up.
No, it's Foefie.
Foofy.
Foofy slide definition and meaning. It's a rope fixed to an incline, along which it's a normal name for the zip line.
South Africa says you're welcome.
We have learnt.
See, where we say zip, South Africa says foofy. And I just think there's something I think we should all experience calling it a foofy line at some point. In fact, go to a zip line in Australia and go, can't wait to get on the foofy slide. That would everyone would be like we just did. The what?
Yeah.
That'd be a good experience.
I think we can now officially call ourselves an educational program.
Officially? Or is this unofficial? I don't know that we're going to be endorsed. Like, if we listed our Twitter account as educational, I don't think we'd get the blue tick suit. Don't think we would.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
I said, don't stop talking to me.
Well, interesting question from Tom, asking about the most unattainable goal that you have achieved in your life. And I really sat just thinking about this a little bit, because you would have to at first have thought it was unattainable, and I'm too ignorant of possibilities sometimes. My first answer was getting someone to say yes to me, especially someone as good as Suze. It was a bit out of my league. I don't know what you did to make God punish you to put you with me, but I appreciate it anyway. Look, it's interesting because there's things that I know that were out of the realm of, or on the unlikely more than likely, but I don't know that I felt much was unattainable. I wouldn't have tried. Have you got an answer? Have you got something that you thought was an unattainable goal that you achieved?
We've kept 3 boys alive to at least 11. And that, I mean, you got to understand, I went into marriage with no intention of becoming a mum at any point. And then when we decided that we wanted to be parents together, it took us a really long time to fall pregnant, for about 4.5 years. And so it still, to me, 13 years down the track with Tyson, it still feels like, wow, I can't believe this has happened for us.
Well, there was a point where we did think being parents was unattainable.
Yeah.
And absolutely. And I don't know that we achieved that as much as it was a blessing we received.
I'm really close to also saying writing a book. I have written it, but I just, nobody's read it yet. So, because I haven't finished editing it. But I'm really close to that being...
And that's where you've got to change how you write your goals, right? Because if your goal is written out, bucket list, write a book, written.
Yep, done.
Not published. No one's read it. but all right, let's talk about things that you might have achieved that might have seemed unattainable. Daniel, have you had something like this, an unattainable thing that you've achieved?
Well, actually, it's similar to you guys, actually, and that's having our kids. The reason I say it is because I had cancer when I was 24. I was diagnosed about a month before we were about to get married. They diagnosed me with stage 4 cancer, and obviously we still went ahead with the wedding and so forth and so on. I had a great wife, really trusted in God in that. And then obviously because when you go cancer, one of the things they do say to you is you might not be able to have kids, and but thank God he healed me 4 months later. We had our first son. And then after that, God decided to give us a double blessing, and he gave us twin girls. So we went from 1 to 3. We thought we might not go back for a third time because it might double again and we'll end up with quads. And then we'll end up with the baby one. So
other than the cancer challenge, we know exactly what you went through.
Yeah, we were one then twins as well. Yeah.
And unexpectedly.
Yes,
we understand.
They're all grown up now, and one of them's married with a 13-month-old son. So we have a grandchild as well now. So all very good.
That's amazing. Wow, God has been good.
Yeah. That's brilliant. One of the unattainable things, I guess, that popped into my head just now is when I started doing a few minutes of stand-up comedy and then put together a whole show and then created a DVD over it.
Yeah.
And all within a short space of time. And I was really, if I was to, one of those things as an art, you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I could have done this better. But I achieved a lot to be able to put that whole show together and did a tour around Melbourne and had, theatres that were packed with crowd and people seemed to enjoy it. I thought that was a good, seemingly unattainable goal that I achieved. I'm very proud of that.
Very good. Kazzy, how about you? Have you had anything in your life that was an unattainable goal that you went on to achieve?
Weight loss.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
I got to 152 kilos. I got to the point where I was type 2 diabetic. I had high blood pressure. My health was just going downhill. Well, I've made it to 55 kilos down now.
Wow.
So
Wow, that's
that
amazing.
was a goal to get under triple figures, which I've done recently, which is the most amazing gift that God has ever given me, because He's given me back my health and my life.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm so pleased that that's what you said too, because what we know, and as a big man, I know I've tussled with this concept of how to get healthy and why to get healthy, and so much is often motivated by what people say we should look like, but your fight was for your health and for your life, and so I just want to applaud the pursuit of this health perspective where you really wanted to live. You've got much more to contribute to this world, and well done.
Absolutely. I mean, I've still got a long way to go, but hey, I'm getting there.
We're cheering for you. We're cheering for you all the way.
Absolutely.
Tom, is there a goal that you thought might have been unattainable that you managed to kind of achieve? We can't hear Tom at the moment, so I'm not sure. We might have to come back to that one. Let's look at Jess messaged through, and she said, unattainable, but more like a blessing, having our third child when we were told it was impossible, getting a massive check to go on a mission trip we couldn't afford.
That's exciting.
Being able to purchase our house, we didn't achieve it, but definitely it was a blessing. And Jess, thank you so much for that. It's important to be reminded of these things that at some point, when they seemed impossible or unattainable, and then in hindsight, they're like, oh yeah. They're another memory.
Look what I actually can do.
And it's important to remember those so that when we're facing the next thing that seems unattainable, that we're reminded that maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Hey, Caroline, is there something unattainable that you have managed to achieve?
Yeah, we moved to a new town 5 years ago, and I always thought we didn't know anybody, and I found it really hard to make friends. So I kind of just thought, oh well, my kids are thriving here. I'll just sit back and be on my own while my kids are enjoying their best life. Didn't think I would make any friends or anything here, and I have. I've made some really, really good friends, and I didn't think that was going to be an attainable goal for me at all. So, I feel really blessed. They're beautiful. They compliment me. They make me feel really good, and I try to do my best in return. So
That's so good. That's
awesome.
a great one too, because it's one of those things. I think it stops us feeling like a goal's unattainable. It can just stop us even trying at times. But I massively applaud that you got out there, and obviously at some point you had to leave your house and to put yourself in front of people to start making those connections. So that's brilliant.
Yep. Thanks.
Let's see if we can get Tom, because Tom's the one who actually asked this question in the first place. Have we got you, Tom? No, we've might need to just check your sound settings in the settings wheel. Unfortunately,
We can see you.
Yeah, but it's just not obviously tapping into the sound device. We will mention, if you want to message through, then text to 0417 455 on the SMS, 0417 455 And Tom's still looking, but I don't know that we're going to get... No.
Do you want to try for us, Tom?
He's still looking to change those settings, but it's not... Let's just give it, because it's Tom's question. I kind of don't want to just lose this moment, but we might
we can come back to it if we need to.
All right, we'll come back if we get confirmation of Tom.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
I said, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop talking to me.
Well, it's interesting, this question has come from Karen, and I'm going to say that by default, the answer to she's got two questions back to back. By default is, Karen, of course, you do you, but it's really the second question that's going to be interesting. Karen said, is it okay for grown adults of, say, hypothetically, 50, to have purple hair? Not so hypothetical, because she goes on to say, if so, why do people look at me weird? Let's get to that, Suze. What do you think? I mean, I'm assuming we're going to default say if Karen wants to have purple hair, she can have purple hair.
100% you can have purple hair. And if people look at you weird, it's probably not weird that they're thinking. It's probably, wow, I wish I could do that.
Right. So then the question is, why do people look at you weird? Now, is this question from Kazzy?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So at the moment, we're seeing on camera you don't have purple hair. Is that right?
No, that's right.
All right.
But you want to?
I have had it done many times. I really enjoy. I love the color purple. Everything I have is color purple. So I just love purple, and we're getting married next year, and the pastor laughs at me and he goes, "Oh, purple hair." That's what he calls me, purple hair.
Do you want purple hair for the wedding?
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
And so then you say, why do people look at me weird? So do you feel that people do look at you?
I actually had someone stop me and look at me and go, "Do you realise your hair's purple?"
What?
I think so. I do believe I think so.
Like it grew that way? And you don't have a mirror?
Yeah. Oblivious. When did that happen? What a shock.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That reminds me of, there was a scene in a movie where one woman racially said to the man of colour next to her, "You're black," and his reaction was, "Oh, does my mum know?" Just that. Yeah.
Oh, my
People make
goodness.
weird statements as if you're oblivious to the body that you're in. All right, let's explore this, because for me, I think, of course, you can do you. If you want to be purple, then have purple hair. But I think people look at people weird who have purple hair because it's not normal. But a part of it not being normal is probably why you want purple hair. Like it's different.
Exactly.
It's a part of how you express you. And so I think embrace when people look at you weird, go, yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
I've had many compliments on how nice it does look too. But
There you
having
go.
someone go, "Are you sure? Do you know your hair's purple?" It was like, really? I think so. It cost me $200.
Yeah, that's right. It took some time. It's a very deliberate process.
Someone who's at least two of the wedding traditions, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. I'm not going to tell you which two, but old and blue. That was a joke, Caroline. Caroline, you do have the blue hair, so you've experienced this. Karen's question, should grown adults be able to have for her purple, and why do people look at you weird if that's the case?
Well, people look at you because you're different. But if people have an issue with it, that's their issue, not yours. But mostly we do get compliments. "Oh, I love your hair." Or I've had red hair and one lady said, "Why red?" I'm like, why not? Like, you know, I didn't colour my hair up until about 12 months ago. I had just brown hair, or I'd put, a slight tinge in it or whatever. But these colours I've only been doing for about 12 months. And I used to look at people with coloured hair and go, I wish I had the guts to do that. And that's probably what they're thinking. Why can't I do that? I wish I could pull that off. And I don't do it because I'm older. I'm 45 and I'm greying and stuff, but I don't do it because I'm grey. I do it because it's a expression of my personality. And as long as I enjoy it, I don't care what anybody else thinks about it.
Can I say, the blue you are now, I think suits you amazingly.
Thanks.
It looks so good. Sarah actually came back and said, purple hair is awesome. And Jess said it's totally okay, and they're jealous of your confidence.
Yeah, but I also like the bit where Kaz was saying, people said, "Do you know your hair's purple?" And she said, "Well, just say no, I'm colorblind." But
I asked for green.
but the irony of that is, I got a mate who's highly colorblind, and he bought a green car thinking he bought a maroon car, and it wasn't until he'd bought it and was showing me off his maroon car. So I'm like, maybe some people are dyeing their hair a certain colour but not realising what colour they've dyed it. Maybe there are some people who don't realise they have purple hair.
Oh, the wrong colour car. That's funny.
And so he thought he had a maroon car with a green licence plate, and he had a green car with a maroon licence plate. It was beautiful. I trained him
He's
in
a
a
good
radio
guy.
studio, and he went, "How do you tell if it's on or off?" I said, "Well, it's green if it's on, and red if it's off." And he went, "Yeah, that's helpful." Had to change the way I train some people.
Challenging. Phil, is it okay for an adult, say 50 plus, to have purple hair? What do you reckon?
It's their choice.
Yeah.
I have a choice of having a mo. I did have a choice of having a goatee. It's up to the individual.
Yeah, and I guess people...
That's a good comparison, actually.
Yeah, people can choose mullets, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose your hairstyle.
I knew a bloke, he had dreadlocks, and I hated to look at it, but it was his choice.
I
wouldn't care if my mum coloured the hair purple.
He's glancing over to the side to his mum as we speak. I think she took the hint, Phil. I think she took the hint.
She's ignoring me anyway, so.
Do you know, it's interesting. I only just remembered that I have this nickname that is really deep into my life, and it was Chupper. And I got the nickname Chupper because I used to dye my hair multicolours all the time, and someone at one point made a quip that said your head looked like a half-sucked Chuppa Chups. And then I got called Chupper after that point, and so much so when I won a Clubman of the Year award at my indoor cricket centre and they announced the winner was Luke Holt, the whole room was silent.
Like, who's that?
Because no one knew who I was. They went, "Oh, Chupper!" they just lost my real name, and I was known as the half-sucked Chuppa Chup head.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. It's funny. It was hurtful at the time, but, you know, I got over it, Suze.
Let's see if we got you there now, Tom. No, we can't hear you.
Still got no sound.
Oh, we want to hear your voice.
Such a shame. I appreciate you rocking up and working hard on it, Tom.
Yeah, really do.
Let's get into our next question.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
I said don't stop, don't stop, don't stop talking to me.
Well, I'm looking at a message and someone's made a quip at me, so it just threw me for a second.
Okay.
They made fun of my balding head. I appreciate the camaraderie we have, and I got a feeling I might be thrown under the bus on more than one occasion here, Suze. A question that's come through the show. Is snoring the most annoying sound your significant other makes? Suze?
No.
Oh, yes. I knew this is the greatest risk because I'm like, no, this now gives you avenue to tell other annoying things about me. What is the most annoying sound that I make? Suze?
When you are trying to get out of the couch. It's so loud. I can't even explain how loud this noise is that you make when you're trying to get off the couch.
I thought it would have been like me sneezing or me yawning, but it's getting out of the couch. Because I make a lot of very annoying sounds. I know it.
What's my most annoying sound?
Oh, I don't think I'm going to fall into that trap, Suze.
Kazzie's in the background saying, don't do it.
Your most
do it,
annoying
Luke.
sound is when you make sounds that sound like, what's my most annoying sound? That's not touching it with a 10-foot pole, Suze. Not touching it at all. Let's talk about the annoying sounds of the special someone in your life, and whether it be a spouse or another family member.
All right. Now, you play piano, Ken, so you are attuned to beautiful sounds all the time. So what for you is the most annoying sound of a significant person in your life?
Well, I probably have a new significant other in my life, actually. Just found love for the first time in a long time. One of those unattainable goals I thought would never happen.
Oh, wow.
So it's been awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And absolutely perfect. And the first night we slept overnight, It was like a chainsaw going off next to me. It was insane. The curtains are getting sucked in, like back in, and it was. For the subject, my partner's actually asked me to record what I'm saying so she can listen back to it later on. So if I'm saying nice things about her or not,
Right, that's right. We'll send a very detailed copy.
But even after hearing that sound, your words were, "It's perfect." So I think that's still beautiful.
So anyone out there that's having a partner like this, when you put the pillow over their face, do it gently. Otherwise, okay, but it does muffle the sound a little bit. Actually, what a more serious note. She was more worried about than I was, and she was going to get laser treatment, which they actually have up in Brisbane. It's like a dentist who does it. It's about $600 for anyone that has the serious where they're sleeping in separate rooms and things like that. And I actually said, look, no, honey, it's not that bad. It's only you've had a huge day, but there are some options out there for people that do have the separate room stuff. It's so full on.
Yeah, our solution's been a CPAP machine. That's all it's taken for
what's
us.
a CPAP machine? What's that?
It's like an oxygen, sort of like an oxygen mask that Luke wears overnight now. And to me, it sounds like the ocean.
It's not like sleeping with Darth Vader or anything like that. It's like
that's what I'm like most of the time without the CPAP machine. There's definitely that's just me walking to the kitchen out of breath.
You actually had in your lifetime, Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh, Ken, that's the first time anyone's made a Star Wars joke about my name.
From this one.
I have used the Force on more than one occasion. All right, Caroline, the most annoying sound of your significant other, is it snoring?
No, it's the sigh when he's asked to do something.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Caroline. I don't think I've ever made that sigh, have I? We've spent a little bit of time in discussion of recent times about how obvious some of my body language is when maybe I'm not attuned to the thought process Susie has gone through. And it may have been the centre of a couple of significant conversations recently, Suze.
It has. That sigh is very telling, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I get the sigh when I've asked him to do something, or when I say, "Hey, I was thinking."
Oh.
Yes.
I had a boss who I made the observation that whenever he went, "Hey, I was thinking," it meant that he's been in deep thought and the meeting we were in was never going to end at the time it was supposed to end. And so I'd be sitting in a meeting with him and it'd be the end of the day and he'd go, "Hey, I've been thinking about," and I went, "Oh, can I just get you to hold that thought?" And I'd pick up the phone and I'd text Susie and said, "I'm going to be late." I just knew the moment he said that, it was not going to end quickly and I could just preempt it. That was my cue that I'm never getting out of here on time.
Well, my husband knows if I say I've been thinking, it means I've already thought about it, we're already going to do it, and he has to get up and do it.
Luke hadn't learned that yet.
Still, first time I've heard that concept. Maybe some wisdom in it. Talking about the annoying sounds of someone in your life, Kazzy, is there a special someone in your world who is snoring their most annoying sound, or is there something else?
No, there's just nothing he really does that really annoys me.
Oh,
that's why you're getting married, Kazzy.
Oh, that's probably it.
It's on the other side of the wedding day that it gets annoying.
Well, okay. I think we need.
We've been together for 10 years, so I think I would have found out by now.
Kaz, I need to hold this thought for a second. Susie, so are you saying that you didn't realise how annoying I was until after we got married?
It's a fact. Yes.
Okay, Kaz, as you were.
No, he actually has one of those wonderful voices for radio. He's got a great, beautiful voice, and he is just so wonderful. I can't even, like, he snores, but hey, that's what they invented masks and headphones for.
Exactly
I think
right.
Carol and Ken and I have got to go and have a long, hard think.
Yeah.
about answering so easily this
So
question.
quickly and easily. Bruce has said, my wife would say so of me, that snoring is the most annoying sound. But I like Jess's response. Jess says, nope, it's not in the top 5. But it's
It
in
is
the top 5. So
yeah.
there's a top 5 list for Jess's
Yeah.
special someone. Wow. How many is on my list, Suze?
Don't
let's-
ask questions you don't want answers to.
SMS through your thoughts on the text to 0417 455 37.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
Said it, don't stop talking to me.
We've got a couple of subjects to go and a game we want to play to try and give away a chance of some prizes before we finish up. But I shouldn't have said that just at that point because that's just ruined my edit point. So I'm going to play this intro again.
Okay.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
Said it, don't stop talking to me.
I want 3 votes on this, Suze. I need some help to make a decision in my life because I used to have 2 earrings in my left ear, 1 in my right ear, and an eyebrow piercing. And then through various reasons, I took them out, and then it got too complicated to put it back in, and they've been gone for over a decade. And I just had a sudden impulse the other day for them to all come back. And I really had to fight my impulse because I was just in a pharmacy buying a rat test because you weren't feeling great, and so we were just doing the responsible thing. And then I just saw this display of piercings, and I went, and I was standing there, and my hand was shaking like I was fighting against the impulse. Not because I didn't want it, but I went, don't make rash decisions. Luke, you do this all the time. But then someone wrote a question to the show about piercings and dangly earrings versus studs. And I know that some people struggle with piercings, especially in guys, or multiple piercings. And I'm not talking about a values perspective of decision because I'm okay with it and I'm okay that other people might not be. But I don't have the reason to not have it that I used to have. And it's just an expression of who I am. But I just don't know, am I just too old now to put my piercings back in? Is it just an awkward old dude trying to go through it? This is my version of a midlife crisis. I don't know, Suze. Do you have a thought and opinion about what I should do?
Do you know I had written an answer?
Had you?
The answer I wrote down was, if this is the extent of your midlife crisis, then I'm okay with it.
I will never limit myself to just stuff like this, and that maybe my midlife crisis will go right to the end. I'm not sure, but this is maybe it's that. I don't know if that's what it is. Okay, so are we willing to go and take it to the poll? And is it a majority rules, and I do whatever they say?
This is up to you. I'm following your lead on this one.
All right, I'll put myself on the line and see. Okay, is this something I should revisit, or you say you're too old, let it go, move on, find another way to express yourself? Let's start with Caroline. Caroline, I'm going with you because you seem to be up for radical appearances, so I want you to say yes.
Do what pleases you. You don't have the hair to colour, so you got to do something.
Yeah. Okay. You had to throw a bald man jive in there. Appreciate it.
You called me old before, so I owed you.
That's true. I have made that jive. And it is true because I used to express myself a lot through my hair, but as I've thinned and created... It's funny because I've got this one little island at the front and a little swimming pool at the back. If I move the front island to the back, then, it might be a bit more complete. I don't know.
No.
Still,
I'm not one for piercings. I don't really like piercings, but... not everybody likes coloured hair either.
Yeah.
And I've got tattoos and not everybody likes tattoos. So it's an expression of you. You do you.
Okay. All right. There's one vote. Ken, what do you think?
I'd say happy wife, happy life.
Do you know...
Yeah.
It's a quip that we make, but I was reading some wellness and marriage research that and they never put this statement on it, but the findings was that a wife saying she was dissatisfied in marriage would bring down a man's perception of their marriage. But if a man said I was dissatisfied, it wouldn't necessarily be the same of the woman, of the wife.
So Ken's right.
And so the statement of happy wife, happy life is scientifically, psychologically proven as the case.
Yeah, I think if you're making a big change or a major statement in how you look, as long as your partner's okay with it, because they might be like, no, I'm in love with this look, not that look, and
Yeah.
they're cool, and it's all good. But depends on how crazy you want to get. You're going to be like studs all over the face and the eyebrow to that one. I'm in the music industry. I see some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You would.
Well,
you would.
I mean, I haven't previously gone that big, but I'm just thinking about this from a practical perspective. If I get enough Sues to like attach my car keys to them, then maybe I'll lose my keys less often. Maybe it could be good.
If you've got from the piercing up here, it'll be hitting you in the eye. Oh no!
I just get my wallet with a hook on it, and just the important devices just attach permanently. That'll be helpful.
Have you got any pictures you can put online? Any pictures of when you used to have all the studs and stuff, and all your piercings?
We would have one somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be a while ago, but I always have 2 studs, one little sort of sleeper, and then just a ball eyebrow as I had. But that was very painful to put back in if you hit the nerve. All right, so we've got Ken, who's really sat on the fence there. So I'm not sure whether that was a yes or a no. That's really I give my vote by proxy to Susie.
That's right.
Right.
I'll take it. I'll take care of that, Ken.
Who are we going to go to?
Let's go Phil. Okay, you're getting a say here in Luke's look, Phil. Do you think he should get pierced again?
He's ugly enough as it is, so it might shine him up if you get one, especially on the nose. And
It's
you
like
put a chain on
bedazzling.
it so you can drag him around.
Yeah.
Bedazzling Luke, it might be all you need.
It gives me something to polish.
I'm not in the piercing myself. I've never had them, but again, it's your choice. It's like hair color. It's like beards. It's like hairstyling. It's up to you.
Face. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very. I mean, I like how it's sort of everyone's celebrating each individual, but also abdicating responsibility for the choices I make, which is probably the safest place to be in life. Suze,
Yeah,
I would say.
probably.
Yeah.
Kazi, what do you reckon? Should Luke look at piercings again?
Now, the one question I'm going to say to him is, what will his kids say? What will the boys say?
Kids say? And would we let the kids get piercings?
They'd probably say something like, "Okay, boomer."
That's probably true.
You go with the piercings and they're going to want a tattoo.
Don't be like that, Kaz. Come on.
Getting a sudden skew on that vote of Ken's that I've got up my sleeve.
Right, okay. Yeah, Susie definitely has the deciding vote by the proxy she's received in this process. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting to explore this stuff as a community, and of course, we get to make our own decisions. But I like the concept that we can have thoughts and process this stuff together. And that was a really interesting input into, what would I be okay with my kids wanting to do in response to it. Yeah, nice challenge,
question.
nice thoughts. We'd love to get your text anytime. 0417 455 37.
With the Luke and Susie Discourse, it feels good to explore your fun and meaningful questions and your thoughts. Let's discourse.
Don't stop talking to me.
I love how often I'm sort of the guy that people shake their head at. So you're the one that people relate to. And producer Sammy is the one that confuses us often with her quirks. In a beautiful, lovely way. Producer Sammy, you've moved recently and you've got a new local IGA.
I do indeed. And it's new not only to me, but to the whole area.
All right, so it's
Brand
a
new IGA all round.
And this has really made a mark on you. Please explain how.
Okay, so freshly built, freshly stocked, all of the shelves were like full. They were aligned. It was like almost color-coded. It was magnificent.
You used the word symmetrical.
Yes, because like sometimes they lean, like, if it's not fully stocked and you've taken stuff and it's disorganized. No, this was perfection.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Can I just
Clean
clarify?
lines.
Can I clarify, other than just saying words and painting a hypothetical picture? Suze, Sammy, have you ever actually looked at the shelves in the supermarket and thought they're leaning?
Like the Tower of Pisa.
Because I don't remember ever seeing shelves in the supermarket thinking, well, gosh, they're on a lean.
No. You do see them sometimes. And I think
Really?
that's more about your attention to detail.
I can wear that.
Yeah.
That's probably...
To be fair, I'm the person who walks into the bookstore and tidies up the books, makes sure they're all aligned.
Oh, my first job was in a news agency. I do that with cards.
Yeah, see, it was my first job at a bookshop where we would actually have things on tables because it was like a discount bookshop. So walk in there and it's like automatic.
Yeah,
You
you just can't help it. Yeah.
Well, this IGA, you did not have to help it because it was done.
Yeah, okay. So my answer, my question on the back of this is this sort of reasonable? Because you found this as your new happy place because it is so in order and they're so calm. So you go to an IGR because it's symmetrical and clean and organized. And I just think that is odd that you could find for that reason a happy place in a supermarket. I'm not judging. It's unusual to me.
That's okay. We know you're not tidy. It's all good.
We do know that. Yes.
Okay, let's get some thoughts on this. Do you think this is unusual and odd of Sammy, or do you relate to how she could find a supermarket that is symmetrical as her calming and happy place? Let's go, Kazzy. Is this weird or is this completely understandable?
Understandable, and I'm so with you. There is nothing like seeing everything on the shelves and it being new and fresh and clean. Wonderful.
It's like when you move into a new house, isn't it? And you get everything in its place and it's clean and it's just the way you want it to be.
And then the kids come in and you think, why did I have you?
It was a great minute. Yes.
Yeah. Best minute of our life. Yeah. Okay, Ken, is this understandable and relatable from Sammy, or is it a little bit unusual that she could find a happy place just because the supermarket is symmetrical, quote unquote?
Love you, Sammy, but I'm sorry, you're a weirdo.
I really liked you there for a moment, Ken.
Get out with my tape measure and I'd be checking out the aisles, making sure they were all in. No.
I didn't go that far. I just, observed.
But you would, though, Sammy.
I would in my own house.
Last time I was in there. Was that you fixing the shelves and putting stuff back and measuring it up and stuff? You're like, now it's okay to shop it. We're all good.
Yeah, we're sorted. But I just
But then you can't take things off the shelf because then it's not symmetrical anymore.
Oh, that's right. It's like, you got to fix it and then go shop somewhere else.
So on that, Sammy, do you then, when you are taking something off the shelf, do you deliberately choose which one of the items you take in order to leave it as symmetrical as possible?
Not generally, but this would probably be a bad time to point out I did not buy anything from this brand new IGA.
Okay, I'm not sure if Kaz wants to take back her answer. Actually, let's revisit Kaz. You said completely understandable, and now you know she went in, didn't buy anything, and just treated it like she was walking in the park. Is that now weird?
No.
Okay, no.
Thank you, Kaz.
I still think, just having a nice clean supermarket with nothing on the floor and just being able to walk around and see things and it being so bright and airy, it's got to be beautiful.
Yeah. It's funny because in so many places, empty is calming. But when we saw empty toilet roll shelves during COVID time, there was something eerie and weird about that, wasn't there?
Weird.
Caroline, is producer Sammy a little bit unusual? Or is this relatable that she could find the calming place in a symmetrical supermarket?
Sammy, I love you, but you are weird. You would hate going shopping with me because I'll pick something up and then I'll change my mind and I'll put it back in the wrong spot because I can't be bothered going back.
My partner does that.
Yeah.
So symmetrical doesn't bother me.
There's like an invisible line for me for this, Caroline. Like there's a certain amount of steps or a certain distance where if I've taken something and I cross that threshold and I go, I don't want it, then it goes back into the wrong place. But if I'm before that barrier, that invisible unknown line, then I'll walk back and put it in the right place. I don't know on any given day where that line exists. But I find it whenever I hit.
In your motivation meter.
Yeah. In that moment, I just know whether I've crossed that invisible line or not.
Yeah.
And I like to think I'm the person who puts it back in the right place. But let's be honest, I don't.
No.
Not all
People
the time.
get paid for that.
I don't like that. I know, but I don't even like I don't justify it to myself. I just pretend I didn't make the decision. Like I just block it out of my history because I want to feel like I haven't created work for somebody unnecessarily. Because even if it's their job, it can be a bit annoying.
Yeah, I used to work in a supermarket though, and sometimes when you're bored, the time goes slower. So I figure I'm just making their time go faster.
All right.
You're helping.
Yeah.
New plan. Attach a Gracify card to the item that you're putting back. And then, yes, you're creating work for them, but you're also leaving them a gift.
Aww.
Yeah. I like Caroline's tone. Oh, that's nice. How do I say no, and not sound like a bad person?
Keeping them working so they don't get bored. That is the gift.
Oh, I love it. Hey, we'd love to get your messages on the SMS 0417 455 37. And that, we've got time for one more thing today, I think, Suze. We're going to play a game of what's in that box.
Okay.
And we're going to give you some, we've got an item here that is in the box, and I just hit myself in the nose with the box. We've got a bunch of questions that have been asked to try and narrow it down, like a game of Guess Who, like a game of 20 questions, and we're trying to work out what's in the box. You can ask more questions, so you can get onto the chat if you've got questions to help break it down. Suze, let's go through the clues that we know so far.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay. Is it round like a ball? It's not. Do you find it in your kitchen?
No.
You don't. Is it round? Is it a TV remote? It's not a
No.
TV remote. It's not an office item. It's not round like a coin, as in round but flat.
But it's not an item that you use in the office, but I did put it in the box because I found it in the office, but it was out of place.
Yeah, so that's not helpful. Is
Yeah.
it smaller than my palm? Yes, it is. Is it a hair comb? No. Is it a stationary item? No. Is it as in stationary, not staying still, but as in stationary like a pen?
Yeah.
Is it found in the bathroom? No. Is it an everyday item? Yes.
Like it's something that you would use on a daily basis, yeah.
Is it a tool? No. Can you wear it? No. Is it a dice? No. And is it found inside the house?
So the question was, is it inside or outside? And I got it narrowed down to it's not something that is an inside the house item, but it's also not an outdoor item either. And that will make sense once you get closer to what it is. It is not outside, but it's not inside the house. That's where we're at. You don't have to guess what it is necessarily. You can, like in Guess Who, ask another question and narrow it down. The key clue that will get you there is where it actually could be found. Where it gets used will then suddenly make it so much easier to work out. So we want to play a game, and for those who are on the call, put your hand up if you've got a question that you want to ask. For anybody who's on YouTube or on Facebook, type in your question, and we will try and get through some questions that we can, and we're going to play What's in the Box. There is something in a box. There is something in a box. You have got to work it out. You have 20 questions to do Yeah. All right, we've got a bunch of things that it is not. It is an item that you can use every day, but it's not in the kitchen or not in the bathroom. In fact, it's not an item that you use in the house, but it's not outside either. We've got opened for an opportunity for some questions. Phil, let's see if we can get a question from you. What do you want to ask?
Can you use it with a computer?
Can you use it with a computer? No.
Oh, well.
No. You don't use it in the house at all.
That's a good question, though.
Very specifically, doesn't get used in a house.
Okay.
And that is by its design. Caroline, have you got a question for us?
Yes. Does it need electricity?
Excellent question. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But it's not in the house.
But it's not in the house.
Nope. But it's not outdoors either. We're getting closer. That was a really good question. Yes. It was an excellent question. On the messages, we've got, is it Lego? No, it's not Lego. It is not. Is it for a man to use? This is a fully inclusive program. It is for any gender, age, race, or any kind of category of people to use. It is for humans to use.
There's a message that's come through now. It says, is it a battery?
It is not a battery.
Okay.
But good questioning, good challenging. It is not a battery.
But it needs electricity.
Yep.
Can we ask, so Caroline made the guess and got a yes. Do you want to have a guess at what it might be?
I have no idea.
Me
All right.
neither.
We have got opportunities for more and more questions as we play in the box. If you've got them, text them through 0417 455 537.
There is something in a box. There is something in a box. You have got to work it out. You have 20 questions to do it.
I forgot that I'm on camera this time.
Every time it
can
plays,
see
we get a
me.
dance.
Some kind of dance is involved. We know a lot of things. It's not in the house, the item in the box. It's used by humans, needs electricity, but it's not outdoors, but it's not in the house either. Not used with a computer. We're getting closer and closer. Closer and closer. Kaz, have you got a question for us?
Is it used on the door?
Is it used on the door? No. No,
Okay.
it's not.
Oh, doorbell kind of thing. Yeah.
Some questions. That's really good. It's not a key. Some other questions that have come through. It's not a dice. It's not a hair comb. And we're not quite getting it. Okay, a question that's come through from Jess. Is it in a shed? Because that's not in the house and not outside. No, not in a shed. But that's exactly the way you should be thinking. What's not in the house but not outside either? Perfect. Perfect line of thinking, Jess. Just keep exploring that. And when you eventually find where it is, then it will become easy from there.
Okay.
0417 455 537. Caroline has come back for another question. Caroline, what do you want to ask?
Is it in the car?
Yes. Yes. Oh 0417 455 537. Caroline, do you want a shot at it?
Is it one of those things you plug into your the cigarette lighter thingy to charge your phone?
Caroline?
Yeah.
I think he's opening the box. He's opening the box.
That is exactly what it is. A lighter USB charger for your phone. Requires electricity. It's not used in the house. It cannot be used on a computer. It cannot be used in other places because it needs the lighter portal. It is absolutely the phone charger to add to your car. Caroline, well done. Congratulations.
Amazing. So good.
Awesome. We will give you the details and get Sammy to send you a prize from Gracify, and that was a fun game. Well done. See what I mean, Suze? And do you see why? Because when I was being sort of given a hard time because I was trying to clarify with the round question. He was like, is it round like a ball? Well, no. Is it round like a coin? No. But it's like it's
Round
got
like
a roundness.
a
Cylinder, right? So it is a round. It's just saying no is not appropriate. But you can see why it's not an outdoor item, but it's not inside the house either. See?
All right.
See, it made sense, and I didn't want to be misleading with my answers by just saying yes or no. Hey, I appreciate everyone, and for everyone who's been watching online, thank you for being a part of it. We're going to have a new item in the box and more chances for you to win and have a whole lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.